All right, so from history, do we have an example of how something like that, how bad that could get with inflation?
Right. From American history, let's start there. Most people don't realize that one of the ways that the Continental Congress tried to pay for the American Revolution, because you got to buy bullets and beans and guns and all the other stuff, is by printing money. You probably heard the expression continental dollar. The continental dollar became worthless, and this is an example of a continental dollar here. The Continental Congress just printed so many dollars that they became worthless. That was right at the beginning of the American Republic. What a lot of people don't realize is that the states were printing money too back then. Here's a New Hampshire dollar and state of Massachusetts dollar, Rhode Island dollars. These were all printed wildly and they became worthless. Anybody who had his savings in dollars then, he was just wiped out. Now it happened again in the Civil War. The Confederate dollar was printed into worthlessness. You've probably heard, about the worthlessness of the Confederate dollar. Here's an example of Confederate dollars also were printed into worthlessness. And again, anyone who had his savings in Confederate dollars was wiped out. Now, there have been all sorts of cases in other countries too. You may have heard recently about Zimbabwe. Actually, that happened this year. The Zimbabwe government got itself into financial trouble and made promises it couldn't keep and printed its dollars into worthlessness. So the Zimbabwe dollar became worthless this year because they printed so many. Now the classic case that people talk about all the time is Germany after World War I. Now here I have a German mark note. This is for 1,000 marks. It was printed in 1910, which was before World War I and before they got into financial trouble. And this was worth, in today's terms, probably something like $10,000. They started printing money to pay their bills, and by 1923, this, which started out being worth $10,000, by 1923, this probably would have bought maybe one slice of bread. And here's another German note printed since then. This is a 5 million mark note. It was printed in 1923, and they went wild printing these. And by 1924, it would have taken, a stack of these several inches high to buy one egg for breakfast. So, and again, if you read my little book, Whatever Happened to Penny Candy, this is all explained in much more detail, and it's a case where it's happened over and over and over again. Governments revert to this all the time. It goes on throughout history, and we're into America's third case now.
Now, how do you protect yourself from this? Because this is obviously a huge problem when it comes to protecting your wealth.
Right. Generally, people will flee to anything that is not denominated in the currency. Americans would flee to non-dollar assets, and they want non-dollar assets that are easily traded, that are small, portable, easily hidden, and that, in all cases around the world, has always been gold, silver, and platinum. Platinum more recently, gold and silver for thousands of years. You go into gold and silver because they tend to retain their value during a severe inflation, and they have all these convenient characteristics. They're very small, pack a lot of value into a small package. Here's a gold coin. The gold coin can be hidden very easily. It's very portable. It's been trusted for thousands of years. The word gold standard has always meant something that's has a very solid value, and it's going to be valuable for thousands of years to come, probably. So that's the first thing people run to is gold and silver, and then more recently platinum. And in our next set of videos, which are going to be about how to buy gold, silver, and platinum, we'll get into the details of how to do that and how to do it safely.